Last April in Fort Worth, an historic end to the 2019 gymnastics season as Oklahoma captured their 4th NCAA title in grand fashion, led by all-around champion Maggie Nichols and senior Brenna Dowell. The Sooners celebrated as they raised their 4th title trophy in 6 years. Tonight, Nichols enters her final collegiate season, once again leading an outstanding Oklahoma team. Desert Financial Arena in Tempe is tonight's backdrop as Pac-12 hosts the Arizona State Sun Devils raise the curtain on our 2020 gymnastics season. You are watching the Pac-12 on ESPN. Welcome everyone, I'm John Roethlisberger, joined by world champion and former Florida Gator Bridget Sloan. Bridget, exciting to be here at the beginning of the season. We get to see the #1 team in the country and really one of the upstarts in collegiate gymnastics, the Arizona State Sun Devils.
And you know what? Both of these teams had a great last season, so they have to build off that, and I'm really excited for both these teams just get started.
Jay Santos in his 4th season at Arizona State. He came in and has done an amazing job here growing this program. Meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, the last standing coach to win an NCAA championship is KJ Kindler. She's won 4 of them, her 14th season here at Oklahoma. And she has done, to say she's done an amazing job would be an understatement, Bridget. She's really the gold standard in women's collegiate gymnastics.
She's truly one of the best. I mean, she knows how to make the perfect team, and they peak at the right time every single season. So she knows how to win, and she likes winning.
And, you know, I talked to KJ before this competition, and I talked to her a little bit about the focus of her team. And a lot of people look at Oklahoma and they say, man, they're so serious. Are they having fun? And she said, are you kidding me? We are having fun. First of all, winning is fun. Second of all, they have a great time. You look at the girls on the sideline, there's a great camaraderie there. But she did say, look, we have fun, but we're disciplined.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with being focused, but it does give a little bit off of, oh, they might be a little angry, but they're just focusing on what the job is.
Arizona State will be starting on the vault. You can see their lineup, a very young team, Bridget. You can see right in the middle there, 4 freshmen in that rotation.
That says a lot about this team, bringing on a lot of freshmen, but that just means that Jay has a lot of confidence in this team. He's excited about how young the team is, and they're excited to get things going.
And certainly if they have a talented group of freshmen, they are going to do well in the years to come. And this, however, is a senior. Jessica Ginn will start things off with the Sun Devils.
Round off entry into your Chinko full. Very controlled on the landing, a little bit of a pike down, a little bit of a leg separation, but overall, great start. Her job is to do just this. A little bit pike down, had to take a small step, but great start.
And the vault is going to be the stick contest in this competition. It's all about those landings, not just on vault, but really on vault. That's the separator, it seems like, for these teams. Now, Oklahoma is starting off on the uneven bars, and they had a little bit of a change in their lineup. Anastasia Webb is going to lead off. You can see her there. And she was supposed to be later in this lineup, actually in the middle of the lineup, but they have some changes, probably trying to do some different things, work with some different lineups here early in the year.
It's early in the season, and KJ is allowed, and hasn't quite solidified her lineup, so now's the perfect opportunity to give those athletes a taste of what the competition feels like.
And I tell you what, having Anastasia Webb as your leadoff, this young lady can swing some bars, and she would be the anchor on most collegiate teams.
Beautiful cast handstand to start. Transitions down to the low bar. One thing Anastasia does nearly textbook perfectly is her form right back up to the high bar. So far, I see very minimal deductions. Toe half into a double front half out.
Nailed it.
Wow. What a start for Oklahoma. And to start things off with this release move, she's just beautiful to watch. Transitions right up back to the high bar. Her legs never separate. This is a blind landing, double front, half out, changes from a blind landing, actually makes it a little more difficult and does it textbook perfectly.
And she sees again. Amazing start for the Sooners. One down there. Back over to vault. This is a change in the Arizona State lineup. This is Alina Miller.
As a freshman, she's going to do another Yurchenko full. A little low on that landing. She was a little bit high on the vault. She didn't get that block that you want to see in the distance and the height off the vault.
Alina's a freshman out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
A little bit of leg separation there. Pulls it around though, stays on her feet. You got to start somewhere as a freshman, so overall, great job.
Jessica Ginn in the leadoff spot for Arizona State. Put up a 9.775, so a good first score there. Now we're over to the uneven bars, and Jay Degovea competed uneven bars for the first time in her collegiate career last weekend. She is an outstanding vaulter, an outstanding tumbler, but she had yet to crack the bar lineup, and she did it last weekend for the first time, put up a 9.875. Not bad for your first time out of it.
Not bad at all. That just goes to show how much depth this OU team has. She's never competed bars, and she swings bars beautifully. You're about to see one of the best release moves in college gymnastics, and she is an aggressive bar swinger. And you don't get to say that very often on bars.
She has worked hard to get to this point. This is something she's really wanted. And here she is, second meet of her career.
Right here. Huge release, just flies. Beautiful toe point, extension. She earned this spot, and she is proving she belongs in this lineup. Another nice cast handstand, just the dismount. Slight hop on the landing, but overall, she is pumped, as she should be.
9.85 for Anastasia Webb in the first position.
In that handstand, she is right where she needs to be. She actually holds the handstands to show those judges just what she's doing. Ends it with a tuck full out. Slight hop on the landing. You know she wanted that stick, but she's new to the bar lineup. She'll get it.
Bridget, you know they did pause that video in the handstand. She wasn't holding that the whole time.
She was holding it for most of the time.
I want to make sure you knew that. Back over to the vault. A freshman out of Daly City, California, Juliette Boyer, follows a 9.675 for Alina Miller.
Round up. Yurchenko full, a little soft on that landing. It seemed like she wasn't quite ready for it. But again, she's a freshman. She's trying to get into the groove of collegiate gymnastics.
And she came out in her first meet last week and did the all-around in her debut as a Sun Devil. So she is getting thrown into the fire, so to speak.
Yeah, and on vault, there are three things to really look at. The amplitude. You want to see these athletes get high off the vault and the distance from the vault. The landings, of course, as you mentioned, you want to see those stuck landings, and the body position. It's important to keep that body position throughout the entire vault.
Jade Degovea got a 9.875. Now this is Carrie Thomas. So good vault scores early for Oklahoma. Carrie is a junior out of Coral Springs, Florida. American Twisters, very well-respected gymnastic club.
Nice cast handstand. I'll tell you what, OU knows how to do bars. They leave minimal air for execution errors. And just the dismount. Little short on that cast handstand. Spoke a little too soon. Double layout. But she gets that stick.
And that is one of those things, if you have a little air during your routine, if you stick the landing, doesn't that kind of just tweak you up a little bit?
I wish it did, but here are the rules that are going to be in these dual meets. You are going to see 6 gymnasts on each apparatus. You're going to have 5 scores count, so you're going to drop your lowest score, and then you're going to see all 4 apparatuses, vault, bars, beam, and floor in Olympic order.
Now back over to vault. Hannah Sharp, freshman from Canada, former elite gymnast. A huge ad for Jay Santos and the Arizona State Sun Devils.
And she had a huge vault last weekend and did it almost perfectly. Had to take a step, but what I love is her amplitude off the vault. You hear the vault when she hits. A little bit of leg separation, a little bit of pike down, but a huge vault.
I think it's time for the half twist to add on the end of that.
I think so. Get that 10.0 start value.
So Arizona State, Juliette Boyer, 9.65 in the third spot. We'll wait for Hannah Sharp's score as we go over to see one of the star freshmen in the country, Reagan Smith. Competed the all-around last week in her debut in collegiate gymnastics. This is one event where she really excelled. Put up a 9.95. She comes from Texas Dreams. her old coach, Kim Zamesco-Burdette and Chris Burdette, done an outstanding job down there.
Very nice combination. Very impressive. First meet scores a 9.95 on uneven bars. Beautiful cast handstand. Just a dismount. Slight hop on that dismount, but other than that, I don't know where they're gonna take a deduction. But this combination, very difficult. Right down to the low bar. That is actually from her elite routine. So she is bringing that elite difficulty to college. Finishes with a gorgeous double layout. A little leg separation again, but gets those heels together for her salute.
Carrie Thomas put up a 9.85. Reminder that one of the scores can be dropped, the low score on each event, so we'll keep an eye on that throughout the competition. This is freshman Gracie Reeves.
And this is the first 10-0 start value vault. Oh, changed it for this meet. She actually does have a tuck 1.5 that Jay is very excited about. Went a little safe with this Yurchenko full. Very nice height, nice distance from the vault. Again, a little bit of pipe down. Would love to see this Arizona State team extend their hips throughout their vaults, but they're playing it safe here today, trying to get those landings.
All right, now we get to see the national champ 2 times in the all-around, one of the most decorated female collegiate gymnasts in the country, senior Maggie Nichols.
And this is one of the best bar routines in college gymnastics, and you're about to see why. Huge release, down to the low bar. It's textbook. Beautiful cast handstand, just a dismount. Double layout.
Oh, gave away the
Wanted
stick.
to get that stick, but had to take a step. Not gonna see that perfect 10-bar routine, but pretty darn close to it. In this cast handstand, stunning. Right where she needs to be, from her toe point to her shoulder extension.
Is this a case of trying too hard to stick, do you think?
I do think if she would have just let it happen, she would have got the stick. Tried a little hard, but still a phenomenal bar routine.
Our last vaulter for Arizona State, Morgan Wilson. She is the other senior for Arizona State in this vault rotation.
Another Yurchenko full, a slight hop, but that has to be one of the best vaults that I've seen from this Arizona team. As a senior, she is a seasoned veteran. And you watch, she's a little crooked, keeps her body position, has to take a slight hop. All of those Yurchenko fulls starting from a 9.95.
So I'm just told that Evie Schofer, who was going to anchor that bar lineup for the Oklahoma Sooners, will not go. They put up 5 great scores. They do not need to put up one more. So a good start for both of these squads in rotation 1 here in Tempe. When we come up, we're going to take a look at the 2020 season and what to expect from these teams down the road.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. I'm going in.
The champs are definitely back, and what a season it was in 2019 for the Oklahoma Sooners. They win their 4th NCAA national championship, go undefeated on the season, and when they won that national title, they put up a 198.475, the highest road score in the history of women's gymnastics. What a performance for the Sooners last year. Now, Bridget, here we are, though, in 2020, and they don't get to carry those scores over. What can the Oklahoma Sooners do for an encore?
You know what? They can't do a whole lot, but they do have 3 star athletes that, in my opinion, that are really going to help them get back to that national championship title, and that is Jade DeGovea, who has really come to terms with herself and being a leader. They also have
don't forget Maggie Nichols.
Sorry,
Right.
yes, Maggie Nichols, who obviously is a star. She is healthy and she is back and she is so ready.
Oklahoma's All-Americans. There were plenty of them last year. They do lose a couple, but they do not lose this young lady. She is one of the best, 2-time defending all-around champ, national vault champ. She did tell me this morning, she goes, my motivation is I want to win another team title, and I'm not going to lie to you, I want to win the all-around again as well. Arizona State on the other side of the floor, Jay Santos, their head coach, they did an amazing job when they came here to Tempe their first year. They went from 41st in the country to 25th. What have they done since, and can they keep that building?
You know what? They had a great last season, and they really should just be building off that. But also remember, every single team started somewhere. When KJ first got to OU, she had to build that program, and it took years. So they really should just be focusing on building every single year and getting better.
And I want to let you know that KJ, when she got to Oklahoma, that team, it was a 500 team. Arizona State, they're going in the right direction. Cairo Leonard-Baker, she is getting ready to go on the uneven bars. And after one rotation, Oklahoma with a nice lead over Arizona State. Oklahoma will go to vault. Anastasia Webb will have a chance to continue to shine, and our only chance to see Cairo Leonard-Baker will be on the uneven bars. Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona. We are one rotation in. Oklahoma with that nice lead after one rotation, but we got 3 more to go as we look at the Oklahoma lineup. They'll start out things with Brooke Wines, a freshman.
And in warm-up, Brooke looked lights out. Let's see what she can do here. Very strong, Yurchenko full. You're not gonna see a lot of 995 start values from this Oklahoma Sooner team. That was a 995. Beautiful form, a little low in my opinion. Would love to see her get a little more block, but gets that stick.
This is an event that KJ said is one of the weakest after losing Dowell and Lehrman last year. And also Olivia Troutman is out currently with an injury. So we'll talk about that more as we go through the competition. Now Arizona State is on the uneven bars. Jessica Ginn, the senior, will start this event off as well. She led off things for the Sun Devils on vault with a 9.775. That would look real good here as a lead off on uneven bars.
Nice pass handstand, right into her release. So far, she's doing a great job starting things off. She's gonna set the tone for this whole team. Little short on that last pass handstand. Dismount, double layout, but that's a stick, and you know what? Sticks are contagious.
Sticks matter and make a huge difference by the end of the competition. That's why Oklahoma is so good. They are so good at those landings.
And this dismount, very nice form, sees the landing, gets that stick.
It's a good start for the Sun Devils on their second apparatus. Now, Allie Stern, sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. Second one to go, follows a 9.825 from Wines. Dug
Tried
those
to get
toes
that
in.
stick. She wanted that, but that is a 10-0 start value right there. Beautiful form throughout the entire vault. Great height. I love that she keeps her legs together the whole time, tries to get that stick. Gonna have to take a 10th on that, but what a start for that 10-0 start value.
And this is the event, too, last year for Oklahoma where they had an advantage on every other team in the country because they had 6 10-0 vaults. And they're picking up at least 3 to 6 tenths on every other team on that one event. That's hard to overcome if you're trying to chase down the Sooners. Now back over to the uneven bars, freshman Isabel Redmond. She goes by Izzy. She is following Ginn's 9.775, so back-to-back 9.775s for Jessica Ginn.
Very nice mount over the bar. Release, very nice height on that release move. She is getting a taste of this home crowd. And so far, she is not phased. Nice pass handstand. She's showing a lot of poise on this bar too, just the dismount, double layout. I would say that was 2 hops, but she wanted that stick, didn't get it. But what a start for the freshman in her home crowd. And this double layout. She wants it, she'll get it.
The freshman is all smiles. Meanwhile, Oklahoma not messing around on vault. Allie Stern a 9.9. Next up is Jade Degovea, and this young lady, she can fly on this event.
And this is another 10-0 start value for the Sooners. Yurchenko, 1.5. Actually had too much power. Had to take a pretty significant step forward.
And as a gymnast, how hard is it to open up and look for this blind landing?
It is a blind landing. It is very difficult. And to have too much power, you don't see that often. That's not a bad thing.
Never a problem I had.
Same.
You maybe. Izzy Redmond put up a 9.75. This is Juliette Boyer. We saw Juliette in the third spot on vault as well.
We are really going to try to break that 9.8. She is on her way there. Very nice execution, keeps her legs together. Very nice cat's handstand. Has to take a slight step, but overall great.
Catch two of the top 3 teams in the nation in our Super Tuesday doubleheader. First at 7 Eastern, number 2 Duke takes on Clemson. Then number 3 Kansas squares off against Oklahoma. Catch all the action on ESPN and the ESPN app. So Jade Degovea, 9.875. They did hit her for that big step on the landing. Now Anastasia Webb will get her shot.
I don't think Anastasia did not stick a single ball in warm-up. She stuck every single one. Yurchenko, 1.5.
And Bridget cursed her on cue.
I spoke too
right
soon.
there. She was
little
going for
under-rotated.
Well, it looked like she was really looking for that landing.
You gotta let these vaults happen. If you fight too hard for the landing, you're gonna make mistakes. It looked like she knew exactly where she was, but just didn't have the rotation she needed to be up, shoulders, over hips, over heels to get that stick.
Morgan Wilson will be the next gymnast to go up on the uneven bars. Juliette Boyer, 9.825, the high score so far for Arizona State. This is an outstanding bar rotation so far for the Sun Devils.
Very nice, Cass Hansen coming off of that high score right before her. She's set up for a good score. And so far, she's doing a great job. Very nice Cass handstand. Line full into a double tuck. Would really love to see some sticks on these dismounts.
Last year at the beginning of the season, this young lady, Maggie Nichols, in her first meet out, puts up a perfect 10 on the vault. This is what perfection looks like. That was versus number 12, Arkansas. Incidentally, she only competed vault one more time that season until the NCAA championships because she had an injury to her foot. Didn't do all around, didn't do vault until the very end when they needed her most. She got healthy and she answered the call and was a big factor in winning Oklahoma's 4th NCAA championship. She's healthy now. Look out.
1.5. Wow.
Did we get it? Did we get it? Bridget, I'll let you know that last year went through the whole season without seeing a perfect 10 in person.
Perfect execution, finds the landing. I don't know where the judges are going to take off on that vault.
They're not going to give her a 10. They're just not going to do it. Anastasia Webb preceded her with a 9.8. Psychologically for the judges, how hard is it to go from a 9.8, 2 tenths higher to a perfect 10?
It's very difficult, but they should give it to her. That was a perfect Yurchenko 1.5.
We saw Gracie Reeves on vault in the 5th spot. Now she is up in the 5th spot on the uneven bars. Morgan Wilson, a 9.775 right before her.
Very nice release by Gracie.
Saw the ticker there, 9.95 for Maggie Nichols. Doesn't quite get that 10.
Would love to see Gracie be a little bit more aggressive on her Cass Hansen. She's a little short, ends things with a double layout. Pretty significant step there. Gonna have to take 2 tenths. But this release move, she flies. She is so high over the bar that she knows exactly where she is to catch. And then this double layout, the form is great. The landing, would love to see her bend her knees a little bit and more sink into that landing to get that stick.
not quite finishing it yet, Dan. Our final vaulter, Evie Schofer Jr. out of Ames, Iowa. As we mentioned, 9.95 for Maggie Nichols, an outstanding vault rotation for Oklahoma despite not getting the 10.
Yurchenko, 1.5. Wasn't quite ready for that landing. It came as a little bit of a surprise. Had to take a step back.
So the champs are rolling. We can see how they even need to refine a few things, work on those landings, but outstanding nonetheless. Now our only chance to see Cairo Leonard Baker in today's competition. She has a slight ankle injury, so they are being very cautious with her. But she is outstanding on this event, qualified as an individual for the NCAA championships on this apparatus last year.
Nice transition up, back down to the low bar. Didn't get her feet out on that toe hex.
And that's unfortunate. This should be the biggest score by far for the Sun Devils.
Gets that dismount though.
So 2 rotations are in the books. We're going to head to the second half of today's competition, the balance beam and the floor exercise for these two teams. But coming up, we'll look back on Oklahoma at the 2019 National Championships and doing it for Dave. The Oklahoma gymnastics program added a lot of bling in addition to the championship hardware after winning last season's NCAA championships. And it will embark in 2020 with their sights set on adding a 5th national title. Last season, however, was an emotional one for the Sooners, as their collective efforts were focused on something more profound than just winning national championships.
As we went through our season, a lot of things happened. Our trainer's husband passed away, and it was a 3-year battle with colon cancer, and it's very difficult for our team.
Dave Robinson was a huge part of the Sooners gymnastics family. After he lost his long, courageous fight with colon cancer, all the athletes rallied behind the hashtag, "Do It for Dave," and they wore blue ribbons and patches on their uniforms and warm-ups.
We were all relatively close with Dave. He was in the gym a lot. He was kind of like a father figure to all of us.
It did bring our whole team together and brought us to be a family, and that changed our whole motto throughout the whole season, and we did it for Dave. He was there with us. It was just so incredible to do it for him.
Star, and for Oklahoma, she's already a star. Maggie Nichols, she's chasing the record for 10.0s. Let's see if she can get one there on the floor exercise. And here is our score halfway through this competition, 98.75, just about a point lead over Arizona State. A little bit closer maybe than some thought from the #1 team, but a lot of gymnastics to go, and most notably the balance beam is yet to come. You know, all the collegiate teams across the country, they get involved in community service and trying to help individuals in the community. And for Arizona State, they've got involved with cystic fibrosis. And this is young Aria, the honorary team captain for the Sun Devils. They've taken her under their wing. She's here at the meet today, actually was introduced with the team when they came off on the floor. And there she is, enjoying a moment in the sun and possibly living a dream that hopefully someday will come true. Maybe she'll put on that Arizona State leotard and compete for this Sun Devil team. A pretty great story, and she is battling a very rare form of cystic fibrosis. She's in a tough fight, and our thoughts go out to her, and we commend the Arizona State team for taking her under the wing. And it's so amazing how gestures like that can do so much and add such a bright spot in the lives of people that are battling things like that.
I think these student athletes don't understand the impact they can have by just saying hi or just writing a thank you note. It really is incredible how much of an impact they have on really anyone they come in contact with.
And it's really an important reminder, I think, for all these collegiate athletes. And you were fortunate to be on the biggest stage in the world, the Olympics, and winning a world championship. So people are watching you and looking at you for an example. But these collegiate athletes, it's the same thing. Young Aria right there, she's standing next to young women who could change her life. And I think it's so important for these athletes to realize that and take a sense of responsibility in affecting those people that need it. Don't forget, catch 2 of the top 3 teams in the nation in our Super Tuesday doubleheader. First at 7 Eastern, Duke takes on Clemson. Then number 3 Kansas squares off against Oklahoma. Catch all the action on ESPN and the ESPN app. Jess Santos getting ready to go on the balance beam. She's given a few words of encouragement to her squad. Jess Santos has been called the Swiss Army knife of coaches because she's got a judging credential. She obviously can coach every aspect of women's gymnastics. How important is that to have that coach with that judging hat that they can put on?
Well, she can make the routines so that they never miss any connection. They always start from a 10.0, and it's really rare to have that as a beam coach, as a coach in general. She has quite the resume when it comes to the gymnastics world.
There is the lineup, another very young lineup. Last weekend when Arizona State competed in their first meet, they had 18 routines that were debuts. Mostly freshmen, obviously, but also some sophomores that hadn't ever competed before. 18 of the 24 routines had never put on the maroon and gold and competed for Arizona State. That is saying something about the youth of this squad.
I'm talking about the youth. This is freshman. Handspring. Very nice save there. Very difficult series. Triple element.
Sophomore Megan Thompson. I think you're again Gilbert, Arizona native.
Being the leadoff is very important on all 4 events, but balance beam especially. You are starting the trend, and all you need to do is your job. And so far, Megan is doing great. Side aerial, back full, gets the stick. A little bit of balance checks throughout the entire routine. But what a fight. She starts things off with a triple series. Handspring, layout, step out. She's crooked, gets right back on the balance beam and keeps moving.
That is an amazing save.
And ends things with a side aerial back full and gets the stick. Great start.
I think they will take that start. Avoided disaster and then finished strong. Jordan Draper Jr. will get things started for Oklahoma. Jordan, this is the only event Jordan has done until this season when she competed on even bars last year. So this is an event she's got a lot of experience on and one they're going to need some experience. They are without Olivia Troutman. She is one of the best in the country on this event. She's currently battling a broken heel. So this is an opportunity for young Jordan to step in and get some experience again in 2020.
First pass, very nice double pike. It just goes to show how much depth this OU team has. Even when they're missing a true competitor, they can fill that spot. Front full. OU always has very unique floor routines when it comes to their dance, and head coach KJ does all the choreography. And this will be the final pass, gearing up here. Very nice. Round off half into a 1.5. She definitely brought the sass in that floor routine, and she brought the tumbling. Check out this second pass. Front full, controls the landing, and ends things with a whip half right into a 1.5. Again, very controlled landings. Great start.
AJ seems to like it. Now back over to the balance beam. Megan Thompson in the leadoff spot at 9.7. This is Juliet Boyer, freshman. Juliet is competing the all-around again in this competition. She debuted her college career with an all-around performance last weekend as well.
Wow, very nice back handspring layout, step out. Balance beam can be one of those events that can be very mental, and you have to really be able to focus on just your elements. And as a freshman, she's doing a great job. Very nice full turn. I know she only made her college debut last weekend, but she's currently performing like a veteran. A little bit of a balance check there. Just the dismount. I think you're gonna see a lot of the dismount that she's about to do. Side aerial, back full. Has to take a step, but she made her college debut last weekend. She's now in front of her home crowd. That was a great beam set.
Boyer's actually battling her teammate for that third spot in the all-around, 1/10 behind Reeves.
And talk about a unique skill. Dance, artistry, very unique. The judges like to see you mix it up a little bit. Very, very cool spin.
It looks simple until you get up there on the 4-inch wide balance beam and try that. Now Reagan Smith gets her chance on the floor exercise. Reagan's battled ankle injuries for a number of years, and actually talking to KJ, she mentioned how they had to kind of tweak what skills she did on floor exercise because of that ankle.
And you know what? Having ankle injuries your freshman year, she just wants to be healthy throughout the whole season. And I love that KJ allows her to focus on these passes that don't hurt her ankle quite as much. Gives her that flexibility. Looks good to me. Starts things with a gorgeous double back.
And the skills that they said bother her are when she twists off the floor, so like a full in or a triple twist. So they had to move those out of her routine potentially, but an athlete like that's not going to have a problem getting to a 10-0 start value.
Well, and Reagan has quite the variety of skills. One thing the floor exercise does allow for each athlete to do is bring their personality out. They get to have fun, smile, maybe wink at the judges.
Did you ever wink at the judges?
I tried. I know Reagan would love to get into that 9.8, 9.9 range on floor exercise. Double pike. That's a stuck landing.
Last weekend in her debut as a Sooner, she put up a 9.775 on floor exercise, and here she follows Jordan Draper's 9.875.
And this second pass, 1.5 front layout, total control. And she ends things with a stuck double pike.
And on cue, she twists off the floor on the 1.5, but that's a lot lower level skill than a triple twist or a full in back out. Now back over to balance beam. Juliet Boyer got a 9.75. Now this is Jasmine Gutierrez in the third spot. She is a sophomore out of Murrieta, California.
Has a very unique skill in this beam routine. We are going to see that coming up, and she actually really struggled with it in warm-up. right here. But nailed it there. That is a full twisting back handspring swing down. You do not see that
hard.
very often. Yes, I did not ever compete that. Nice control on that required full turn. In a full turn, you think they're easy. They can definitely cause you some balance checks. What I love about this Arizona team right now on the balance beam is they are fighting to stay on the beam. They may be a little crooked. She was a little off balance there, but fought to stay on and ends things. Round off 1.5, a little under rotated, had to take a step backwards, but what a unique beam routine with this full twisting back handspring. And again, she had a lot of trouble with that in warm up. And a round off 1.5, blind landing, needs a little bit more rotation to get that stick.
So 3 for 3 for the Sun Devils on balance beam, and 2 for 2 for Oklahoma. Reagan Smith, a 9.9 in the second spot. Now Jade Degovea, the senior, is up next. Seen Jade twice this evening already on vault. She got a 9.875 as well as the same score on the uneven bars, a new event for her. And she did mention she wants to be in that all-around. She said 100% I want to get in that beam lineup and compete all around for this team this year, and I have a feeling she's going to.
Had to step out of bounds there, a little too much power. That's kind of been the theme for her tonight, which isn't a bad thing to have, but controlling those landings. And being a senior and wanting to get in an all-around spot.
A lot of seniors want to get just done.
Exactly. So to see her and hear her say, I want to be in that all-around, that is very impressive. And KJ should really see the leadership from her with just that statement.
I asked her today, what do you bring as a leader to this team? And she said, you know what, the importance of attitude. And I said, is that by learning through personal experience? And she said 100%, because she's been all over that gamut, and she said so herself, but now she really feels like she's zoned in, and KJ said the same thing, and she has really earned that leadership spot.
One thing she does so well is she uses her eyes in her choreography. She really draws people in, and you feel like you have to watch. 1.5 front full. Out of bounds on that first pass. A little too much energy. Coaches would much rather see you step out of bounds because of too much energy, and you'll see this very difficult front layout into a front double twist. I think she should add another half.
That's a tough pass, and she does it, makes it look really too easy, easier than it is. So her competition is done individually. She will not be on beam in this meet, but we'll keep an eye on that as we head down the road. Now Morgan Wilson is the next gymnast up here in balance beam. Jasmine Gutierrez, a 9.625. That's currently the low score for Arizona State, so they can drop that one as long as these last 3 athletes up hit and score higher than a 9.625.
Back handspring layout, step out, very nice. I love the control she has on her elements on balance beam. She is very cool, calm, and collected. Cat leap into a switch half. Very nice front toss. Again, talking about composure, as a senior, she is going to try and live all these meets up. And a gainer full. Has to take a slight hop, but very nice routine.
Tonight, after NFL Rewind, it's Sports Center with Michael Eaves and Zubin Mehenti. They'll have the Ravens-Titans post-game coverage, plus Vikings, 49ers, keys to victory. I might be a huge Vikings fan, Bridget. I'm just going to let you know that. And media day for LSU and Clemson was this morning in New Orleans. Hear from the players and coaches just 2 days before the national championship game. SportsCenter, 1 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Skol Vikings.
Can't say I'm a Vikings fan.
Sophomore Allie Stern next up for Oklahoma. Jade Degovea, the hitter for that out of bounds, 9.775. They will want to drop that score. Allie was a change to the original lineup for KJ Kindler. We had an interesting conversation with her this week about changing the lineup in warmups.
You know, and I think the coaches do that so that the athletes don't have time to kind of get in their heads and have that panic mode. It's just kind of, hey, you're up.
And the interesting thing that you said to me was that it's not just in the moment what's happening. It's kind of a collection of experiences with that athlete and getting to know that athlete and trying to read their eyes on whether they're ready to go.
And that is so impressive. She knows her athletes so well. And Allie is doing a great job. Yeah, KJ said she can look in their eyes and see if they are ready. Final pass for Allie. Double tuck. A little short on that landing, but has strong legs and stands up quick. Nice job. And you'll take a look. This final pass, round off, back handspring, double tuck. She's a little soft, but she pops right up.
Almost looks like she's going to miss her leg.
And a very unique finish. Little creepy crawlers.
Officially in the code of points now as creepy crawlers. Back over to balance beam. Hannah Scharf, she follows Morgan Wilson's 9.8.
And when recovers from that wolf turn. And then when we're watching the balance beam, you're looking for the connections, the smoothness of the connections, the acro skills that you just saw, and then the balance checks. You want to see minimal errors, but it's really impressive when these athletes work through the balance checks and you won't even know that they happen. And she may have had a mistake in the beginning, but so far she's being very composed. Hopefully she's all right after that. You saw her foot slip off.
And she battled so well on that wolf turn to stay on, which, you know, we talk about points of emphasis, that stay on.
Yes.
And she fought so well early, but sometimes, as you know all too well, Bridget, the beam is unforgiving.
She still has the rest of the beam routine to finish. Crowd knows she needs their support.
They can drop this score, but now the pressure is on for their anchor position, Gracie Reeves, to
Round
hit.
off 1.5. Nice dismount. Again, had that hiccup in the very beginning, and then she was totally off. 4 inches wide, and her foot just slips right off. And there's really no saving that.
And that was a great look at what those athletes are facing, and it makes me happy that I was a male gymnast and not a female gymnast. So on-floor exercise, Allie Stern, a 9.725. Anastasia Webb. Now 2 scores in the 9.7s for Oklahoma is not something they're used to seeing. Certainly showing how they miss Olivia Troutman in this floor lineup.
And this floor routine might be one of my favorites. Anastasia is a true performer. Front handspring, double twist. That is a stuck landing. KJ does such a good job of this choreography, really fitting each athlete's strengths. Whether it's performing, whether it is the dance aspect, being flexible, she really just highlights all of that in every routine. Round off 1.5 front full. We talked earlier, Anastasia has been in every single competition since she stepped foot on this OU team.
And she's hit 80 of 84 routines during that time span. So 95%, if you want to do the math at home, is pretty impressive. Especially, she does some of the more high-level gymnastics you'll see in the competition.
She is a very dependable athlete, ends things with a very nice 1.5. Very nice job. You can tell she's liking front twisting. Starts things off with a gorgeous front handspring, double full, so high. Knows exactly where she is. Middle pass, a 1.5 right into a front full. And ends things 1.5 twists. Again, she knows exactly where she is in the air to find that landing.
Now the pressure is on Gracie Reeves. Hannah Scharf only an 8.8, so they are going to have to count a 9.625, but they need a big score here from Reeves. Not going to happen.
She is off as soon as she did that first back handspring. She's going to redo the series to make sure she gets credit for it in the start value. Back handspring, layout step out. Her job right now is to finish this routine as strong as she can. She's a little timid on her leaps.
This is a moment for a freshman, though. She went up after a fall. The pressure just amps up exponentially. But it's early in her career. It's earlier in the season. This is when you want to have this moment, right?
It is when you want to have it and you want to learn from it. I hope she can go back in the gym and remember that mistakes happen, but it truly is all about how she finishes and being strong and composed up there, even when you make a mistake. Round off 1.5. Definitely not the routine they wanted to end that rotation with.
Unfortunate finish for Arizona State on that apparatus. You can afford one fall, but 2 falls is a killer, especially when you're on the same floor as the Oklahoma Sooners. Anastasia Webb, a 9.9. Maggie Nichols is in the anchor spot. Those 2 athletes battling it out for the all-around title is here as well. After 2 rotations, Maggie had a 2/10 lead over Anastasia Webb. Just needs a 9.7 here to maintain that.
And Maggie is another one of those athletes that just loves to perform. She loves to get out on the floor exercise and show what she has got. Very unique first pass, 1.5 step out into double back. Having a lot of fun out there.
That's one thing KJ said about her, is that coming into the last weekend's meet, she said she's never seen her happier, more relaxed, more focused, more excited to be on the gymnastics floor.
And that is so refreshing. She is a senior, and she is loving every moment of this senior season.
A subplot to this season is Maggie Nichols is chasing the 10-0 record held by Jenny Hansen. She's 11 behind, but Kyla Ross is 9 behind. So we'll see how that goes over the course of the next 10 regular season meets and a couple postseason meets.
Final pass for Maggie. Double pike. She knows where she is to get that stick. What a performance. In this first pass that she performed, very, very difficult. 1.5 twist, step out into a roundout back handspring, double tuck. Very nice job. And this final tumbling run double pike sticks that landing.
Good to see Maggie back and healthy, and she's going to make things very interesting as we head into the postseason. Coming up, the moment I've been waiting for. You're going to love it. We're going to bring you the first installment of Bridget's Breakdown after the break, as well as we got one more event to go. Oklahoma will eventually make their way over to Beam, and Arizona State on floor exercise. Here, coverage begins Monday at 8 Eastern, and there are your results after 3 rotations. Oklahoma with a commanding lead. They really stretched it out, especially with Arizona State making those mistakes on the balance beam. Our Women's Collegiate Gymnastics Association preseason poll, as much of you would expect, the defending champ, the Oklahoma Sooners, sit in that top spot. Arizona State, they have been making moves over the last few years. They currently sit at 21, and they are certainly looking to move up. So Bridget, Oklahoma coming off an unbelievable season. Really, for all intents and purposes, no one probably could ever have a better season. Undefeated, set a record for high score at the NCAA championships. But looking at a broader picture, who can challenge the Sooners this coming season?
I'd say there are 4 teams that can challenge this Sooner team, and we're going to start with the UCLA Bruins. Not only have they won in 2018, but they have a new head coach. Chris Waller was under Miss Val for 17 years, but he's the head coach, and they have 2 new assistants. So that is a huge coaching change, and they lost their star, Kaylin Ohashi, who brought a lot of 10-0 routines on beam and the floor exercise. And then we're going to move to the Utah Utes. All right, another head coaching change. Tom Barden was under not only Greg Marston, but also Megan Marston. He is now the head coach. Brings in 2 assistants, but they are stacked with a freshman squad. They bring a lot of talent, a lot of young talent that can really do a lot for them. And moving on, the LSU Tigers. They are the Cinderella story that ends far too early. They always have a phenomenal regular season, win SEC championships, and get to NCAAs, and just can't grasp that NCAA title, and Dee Dee wants it bad. She wants it, and she will let you know. And then finally, your University of Florida. You know, they were lacking a really key aspect last year, leadership. They had it a little bit during regular season, but not enough to really bring it for postseason. They didn't make NCAAs last year, so they are hungry, and they bring junior Olympic champion Peyton Richards, a star freshman for them, really going to do great things.
It's going to be fun to watch. I do want to add one more dark horse that's never won a national championship. That's the Denver Pioneers. They've got a couple of big dogs, Lindsey Brown, Maddie Carr, and they might be one of those on the outside that could make that jump. Coming up in college gymnastics, we're going to be there next Thursday, Bridget and I in Lincoln, Nebraska for Penn State, Nebraska. And then 9 p.m. Friday, it's going to be a great one. Number 1 Oklahoma versus number 2 Alabama in Tuscaloosa. And then down the road, we got a preview maybe of the SEC title matchup, LSU Florida, and then possibly a Big Ten preview of their championship, Michigan and Nebraska. We got one more rotation to go. Sun Devils and Sooners, balance beam. One more chance to look at the star freshman Reagan Smith. And then the stalwart, the senior, the anchor, Jessica Ginn will finish things off for the Sun Devils on floor exercise. Our score through 3 rotations, Oklahoma with a commanding lead, almost 3 points over the Arizona State Sun Devils. Unfortunate beam rotation for the Sun Devils. They were within a point after 2, but things got stretched out with those mistakes. As we mentioned, the Oklahoma Sooners, they've won 4 national titles. There's the team in 2014. That was their first, and how sweet it was. 2016, they took a year off, but they bring it back in 2016.
And they genuinely just have such an impressive resume. It really is just awesome.
Made it back-to-back championships in 2017. And you know what? They did it again in 2019, but 2018 is probably the one that KJ remembers the best, when they had it ripped from their grasp on that last routine. But I tell you what, 2019, a dominating performance. We can't say it enough. They just lapped the field, and Of course, Maggie Nichols, a huge part of what they have done in the last 3 years. And, you know, we talked about their 10.0s and how many she's gotten in chasing the record. Keep in mind, she did that without doing vault and floor for most of last season, 2 events where she definitely is capable and has scored 10.0s. She is quite something special.
So just imagine.
Just imagine.
If she wasn't all around all of last season, I mean, she has just changed the culture at Oklahoma.
Some of the career accomplishments for Maggie Nichols. We need a bigger slate. Let's talk to the producer. 6 individual career NCAA titles, 13 All-Americans. And just, you got to stop counting event titles when you get above 100, I feel like. Bridget, how about you? You won a few national championships. How many 10-0s did you get?
I got one on every single event.
You did? You got the gym slam? You got the gym slam.
I did get the gym slam.
Well,
just in the nick of time, too.
However many you got, that's how many more you got than I did. I did not ever get the 10. It's okay. I'm dealing with it. Some young fans in the crowd, maybe some future Sun Devils, who knows, maybe some future Sooners, but nonetheless, this competition is certainly stocked with role models for these young ladies. Was that you? Did you go to these meets and cheer on your favorites back when you were that age?
I hate to say it, I didn't. I did not. I was, you know, in the gym training, and college gymnastics really didn't become a thing for me till I was in high school. I have a very unique story.
Well, we'll get to that maybe on another Bridget Breakdown. Nice job breaking down those contenders, by the way, in that last segment. Looking forward to more Bridget breakdowns later this season. I'm told we have a scoring adjustment coming in. Not a huge one. Megan Thompson just got raised to a 9.7. Hold on, I'm talking to myself. Raised to a 9.7 or lowered? Up to a 9.75. So there you have it. Not going to change the outcome of the competition. KJ Kindler giving her words of encouragement. Did you ever get those words from your coach right when you're about to go on beam in particular?
I did not. I was more of a, all right, I'm going to go do my thing now. One thing KJ does so great also is she really individualizes each athlete. And if they want to talk to her before they go, she does. If they don't, she leaves them alone.
This is junior Carrie Thomas. Coral Springs, Florida native.
Back handspring, layout, step out, very nicely done. I would have to say the Sooners, not only do they rock vault, bars, and floor, but they rock beam. They are so strong on this event. Very unique turn.
Carrie is a transfer from the University of Maryland.
So far, you would never know that she is a transfer. She just did a beautiful routine to start things off for the Sooners. What a way to start this final rotation. And right here, very unique dance. Side aerial, back full, gets that stick. I love how the Sooners get their heels together, really not giving away any type of deduction.
Now on floor exercise, sophomore Megan Thompson. She's the athlete that had the score change on balance beam from a 9.7 to 9.75. Certainly the Sun Devils trying to finish on a strong note. Again, for them, the plan isn't necessarily to win this meet. They knew it was a long shot. It's not going to happen tonight. But building, giving themselves something to build on for the next competition, to put themselves in a position later down the road to make a statement and maybe make it to a national championship.
And that is so important for a team. You have to get experience. You have to make mistakes and learn from them. And that's, you know what? That's what they're doing tonight. And that's only going to make them better in the long run. Very nice leap series. And Christina Peel, the wonderful assistant coach for the Sun Devils, has graciously done their choreography. And Jay said he really just loves how she incorporates every single athlete's personality into the choreography.
Gymnastics fans may know her better as Christina Basquette, former Utah Ute, and stunt woman, by the way. Now Christina Basquette-Peel, and doing an outstanding job here in her first year as an assistant coach, an official assistant coach at Arizona State.
Final pass. 1.5 front layout. Big smile at the end. Very nice start for the Sun Devils. And again, they're really just building each rotation and trying to get that experience. In this first pass, double pike, a little soft on the landing, but stands up very quick. And a 1.5 front layout to end that very beautiful first routine.
Now freshman Jenna Dunn from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Bart Connor Gymnastics Academy. One of our cohorts here on the SEC Network and ESPN.
And talking to KJ earlier this week, she was so impressed with Jenna. Last weekend, she got thrown into the beam lineup, really didn't know how she was gonna do, and just crushed her beam routine, really just gaining confidence.
It was one of those last minute changes that she said, look, you only have 15 minutes to think about it. It's almost maybe an advantage.
Absolutely, very difficult triple series. And Jenna has been a Sooner fan her whole life, so getting to where that leotard has got to mean the world to her. I think getting in the lineup last week gave her a little bit of that confidence we're seeing. Front full dismount, a slight step, but great job for the freshman. And a very difficult series to start things off. 3 elements, back handspring, layout step out. Actually has a little tiny check, but recovers perfectly and ends things with a front full. She is just gaining confidence with every single meet, solidifying her spot in that lineup.
Our first look tonight at junior Maya Williams. She's following a 9.825. Great start from Megan Thompson.
Getting a little jiggy with it.
The Friday night dance party has started. Oh, just a little too far.
Still has the rest of this routine to get it back.
Maya does have some international experience. She's competed for Jamaica, competed on the 2015 World Championship team for that country.
I think it is something to note how many elite gymnasts are coming to college. I think it is so great getting a taste for fun gymnastics. Gearing up for the second pass. She fell on her first pass. Here to get it back. Double tuck, pulls that around. She was a little bit short, but pulls it around.
She has fun out there, and you mentioned it earlier too. You go out on floor and you got to perform, and you got to have fun, and you got to play to that crowd, and you can tell she enjoys doing that. So 2 down for each team as we go back over to balance beam for Oklahoma. Carly Woodard, junior from Overland Park, Kansas. First time seeing her tonight as well.
Watching her in warm-up, she has beautiful dance, very unique mount. Little risky of a mount.
The 2 scores so far for Oklahoma, 9.875 for Carrie Thomas, Jenna Dunn, a 9.825.
Side aerial back handspring, very difficult combination. Front toss right into a beat jump. She is doing an incredible job. She does not stop moving, keeping the flow of this routine. Very nice job so far. Showing off that flexibility. And side aerial back full. Gets the stick. Very nice job. And this mount, this is a very unique and almost risky mount. And then side aerial right into a back handspring. And finishes with a gorgeous stuck landing. KJ has got to be very impressed so far with her beam lineup.
Now back over the floor, Gracie Reeves. She struggled on the balance beam, chance for redemption here. She finishes her night on the floor exercise. One of our 4 competitors doing the all-around.
And one thing, when you have a mistake on an event, it is important. You got to get it right back. Nice 2.5, a little short on the landing. Had to take a step to the side. Second pass. Whip half right into a front full. And what we're looking for on the floor exercise, the landings, you want to see those stuck landings right to their lunge, the artistry. Judges are going to be looking for the artistry, and you want to see some big skills. I think the judges are always impressed by taking a risk with the skills you pick.
Maya Williams moments ago an 8.95, certainly the score Arizona State's going to want to drop.
So far, Gracie's doing a great job. She's a little timid on her landings. Front 1.5. Overall, very nice job. She's coming after a fall, trying to get her team back on track. Ends things with a pretty nice front handspring, front 1.5. Has to pike it down just a little bit, but she does find the landing. Has full control. Very nice redemption for her coming from balance beam.
Goes over to Club Inferno in the corner of the arena there to get some high fives. She got a 9.775 last week. Trying to build on that. Now Anastasia Webb finishes out her night. You can see she is a contender for the all-around title here this evening with Maggie Nichols. She's following Carly Woodard's 9.925. So Oklahoma putting their foot on the gas.
And Anastasia is beautiful on this event. I would say this is her best event. Very nice full turn.
Maggie Nichols currently with a little over a 2/10 lead on Anastasia Webb, which if Maggie can stay on the beam, she will win that all-around title, but you still got to stay on the beam.
Absolutely. And Anastasia will give her a run for her money.
It's one thing that KJ said about her as well is that, look, she is going to contend for all-around titles. A lot of people overlook her. She's on the team with arguably the best gymnast in collegiate gymnastics, and she does get overlooked a little bit, but she certainly has everything it takes to be an all-around champion, and who knows, maybe an NCAA all-around champion.
Absolutely, and that just, again, KJ is just stacked with talent, but these athletes want to win. She doesn't have to push that on them. Wow. Very nice side aerial into a back full. Very, very nice job for Anastasia. Right here, front aerial into a split jump. Perfect split jump. Right where she needs to be, 180 degrees. What a performance tonight for Anastasia Webb.
We will see if that is enough to catch Maggie Nichols. Juliette Boyer, another all-arounder, competing tonight. This is her final performance. She is looking promising for that third spot.
And she is here to gain experience, get some meets and routines under her belt. Very nice front layout into a 1.5 twist. Into her second pass. Double pike, a little short on that landing, recovers, has to take a couple steps forward. And I think in college gymnastics, floor exercise is so much more than tumbling. There is so much more to that dance. You smile, you make it look so easy, and you are out there doing very difficult tumbling passes. And her final pass of the night. 1.5 front layout, very nicely done.
Nice finish to the competition for young Boyer, just a freshman. And if you're going to be a contender in collegiate gymnastics, you've got to have some all-arounders that are going to help you on every event. And in the future, this could be that young lady.
Absolutely. I mean, she flies on all of her tumbling passes. That first one we just saw, that is a very difficult combination. I think she can add another half and do a front double.
So now Reagan Smith. She follows Anastasia Webb's 9.9. In her debut last weekend, Reagan put up a 9.9 on this. She has been a member of a world championship team. In 2017, she went to the World Championships as the favorite to win the all-around. And ironically, that's kind of where things went sideways for Reagan Smith. She had a bad ankle injury that still bothers her today. You can see that ankle is taped, and she did not get to compete in those World Championships, and eventually retired from elite gymnastics and made her move to collegiate gymnastics. But nonetheless, she has an outstanding career and certainly a very bright future here at Oklahoma.
She just brings so much talent and experience and worldly experience. And I know KJ is very happy to have her on this Sooner team. Very nice combination. Nice control on her full turn. One thing Reagan was so excited about was getting to compete as a Sooner, debuting last weekend and doing a great job. Back handspring into a gainer full. Very nicely done. Big hug from KJ. And right here, beat jump into a straddle half, into a back handspring swing down. Very unique, and then this dismount, back handspring right into a gainer full. Had to learn that dismount this season.
I'm very curious to see what the judges do with that, because Anastasia Webb, as we mentioned, 9.9, and I think Reagan Smith's routine was better. No visible errors, so they've got to go up. It's just a matter of how much further up they will go. Now Hannah Scharf also struggled on the balance beam, but as Jay Santos told us about her, if she can start hitting, she is again one of those people that can be a star, can be an anchor for this team. So need something to build on here.
Very nice first pass, front tuck step out right into a double back. And one thing that Jay should be looking for is when his athletes have these mistakes, being able to get it back. That just shows so much maturity in their performances. 1.5, front full right into a front tuck. I was a little worried after balance beam. Her fall looked a little rough on that foot. but it looks like she is good to go here, doing a great job.
Juliet Boyer put up a 9.825 right before her, so that is matching the largest score for Arizona State on this event.
And final pass. Double pike. Nicely done. Very nice job. Way to bring it back. Has the incidents on beam happen, comes out to floor, has nearly a lights out performance for her. This last pass, double pike, knows exactly where she is. Beautiful stuck job.
Love to see that comeback after a mistake. Always tough in gymnastics to do that, to get together mentally. And here we go with Maggie Nichols. Before she goes, Reagan Smith at 9.875. I guess that's why I'm sitting back here and I'm not judging, because I had that at a 9.9 plus. But the judges obviously
had
more trained than I. They have that professional.
They had other things in mind.
Maggie Nichols needs a 9.7 to win the all-around. The all-around would be her 25th all-around title of her career.
Front aerial, back handspring, layout, step out. That is an elite combination that she brings to her college routine. Very impressive. Maggie has such poise on balance beam in all of her skills to her dance. Very nice. Switch leap right into her split jump. And just the dismount, and she only needs a 9.7 to take the all around. And all she has to do is land on her feet, and she sticks it. I think she just took home the all-around.
All she had to do is basically stay on, and she did more than that.
See what the judges give her. That was a beautiful beam routine for Maggie.
I don't want to make predictions because I'm generally wrong, but it looks real good.
1.5, blind landing. She holds that landing to let the judges know I did not move.
One more to go on floor exercise. Jessica Ginn. And I'm told this is the 90s hip-hop routine, which you are too young to even know about the 90s, Bridget.
I was born in the 90s. Front through to double back, very nicely done. All right. That must be what the young kids are doing these days. Front layout, front half. This is quite the mashup of music.
This is my greatest hits in college right here. I'm loving this.
One thing she does so well is she has fun out there. In her senior season, definitely gonna be a crowd pleaser with this floor routine. Final pass. Double pike, very nicely done.
Beautiful. You can see Christina Basquette-Peel in the background right there in the tan jacket. She likes it, and she should.
Excited. Very nice job.
That's her floor routine. Nice finish for Arizona State. Not the night they had hoped for, but they finished strong. But it is a night for Maggie Nichols.
She had a lights out performance. This is their second road meet in a row. I mean, she just knows how to stick her landing. She has beautiful body position. Really impressive difficulty on all 4 events. She loves to compete, and she loves to win.
And she did just that. Her 25th all-around title, that 39.75. Honestly, if it was higher, it wouldn't have shocked me. She had a couple routines where if they put up a 10, I would not have been surprised. And one judge did put up a 10 on that beam routine. She ends up with a 9.975 there. Our final team score, it is Oklahoma's night, 197.675. Arizona State had some trouble, had some falls. They come in 194. For Bridget Sloan, I'm John Roethlisberger. So long from Oklahoma City. Coming up, college basketball. Oklahoma takes on Iowa State. So long from Tempe.